On Sunday, July 19th, 2026, at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, inside a packed New York, New Jersey stadium, Spain will walk out onto the pitch to face Lionel Messi's Argentina in the FIFA World Cup final. And if Spain wins, if La Roja lift that trophy for only the second time in their history, it will not just be another football title. It will be the moment that redraws the entire map of world football. It will end an era. It will crown a new one. It will change how a generation of players is remembered, how tactics are taught, and how young footballers around the world are trained. This is not hype. This is the honest, tactical, historical, generational reason why Spain winning the 2026 World Cup would change everything. Let's break it down.
First, understand how Spain got here. It was not luck. It was not a lucky bounce. It was a systematic dismantling of the best teams in the world. A scoreless draw against Cape Verde to open, then a 3-0 rout of Austria, a 1-0 defeat of Portugal that ended Cristiano Ronaldo's international career, a 2-1 win over Belgium in the quarterfinal, the only goal Spain conceded in the entire tournament. And then, on July 14th in Dallas, the semifinal against France. Mbappe, Dembele, Doué, the most feared attacking trio in the world. Spain won 2-0. Mbappe finished with 0 shots on target. Spain has now scored 13 goals and conceded exactly 1 across 7 matches. That is not a hot streak. That is a masterpiece of football engineering.
On the other side of the pitch stands Lionel Messi. 6 World Cups, 21 career goals, 12 career assists, the all-time World Cup leader in almost every meaningful category. And this is, without question, his final World Cup. He has said so himself. If Argentina win, Messi becomes the first man to win back-to-back World Cups since Pelé in 1962. He walks off into the sunset with 3 stars on the shirt and every debate settled forever. If Argentina lose, if Spain suffocate him the way they suffocated Mbappe, then the Messi era ends in silence. No fairy tale ending. No golden farewell. Just a young Spanish teenager named Lamine Yamal, who almost 20 years ago posed for a charity photo with a young Lionel Messi, closing the door on the greatest career in football history. That is not just a match result. That is a generational passing of the torch.
And that new generation? It is terrifying. Lamine Yamal, 19 years old, already considered by many the best right winger on the planet. Pedri, 23, the metronome of the midfield. Nico Williams, 23, an explosion of pace and creativity. Mikel Merino, 30, who has scored winning goals in back-to-back knockout matches. Dani Olmo, tied with Cesc Fabregas for the most assists in Spanish tournament history. Pedro Porro, whose semi-final goal against France was a work of art. And behind them, Rodri, the reigning Ballon d'Or winner, the most complete defensive midfielder in the world, controlling every game like a chess master. This team is not a one-tournament wonder. They have already won Euro 2024. They have already won the 2025 Nations League. If they win the 2026 World Cup, they become the first team in history to hold the European Championship, the Nations League, and the World Cup simultaneously. The first team ever.
Now let's talk tactics, because this is where it gets historic. The original Spain team of 2008 to 2012 won 3 consecutive major tournaments with Tiki-taka. Short passes, endless possession, patient build-up. It changed football forever. Then it died. Germany buried it in 2014. Everyone said Tiki-taka was dead. Except it wasn't. It was evolving. What Luis de la Fuente has built is Tiki-taka 2.0. Faster, more vertical, more aggressive in pressing. It still keeps the ball. Spain averages 64% possession this tournament, but it now attacks with speed, uses width through Yamal and Williams, and defends through pressure instead of retreat. If Spain win, this new model becomes the blueprint every academy in the world will copy. Just like Barcelona and Guardiola forced every big club to invert their fullbacks after 2008, La Roja 2026 will rewrite the tactical rulebook again.
Consider what a Spain win would mean statistically. Spain enters this final on a 37-game unbeaten streak. 37. That is one of the longest in the history of international football. If they lift the trophy on Sunday, they will have gone almost 3 full years without losing a single match. They will become the first team in over 60 years to win back-to-back major tournaments, the Euros followed by the World Cup, since West Germany did it in 1972 and 1974. And they will do it as the youngest starting lineup of any World Cup winner in the past 2 decades. This is not one great generation replacing another. This is the beginning of what could be a decade of dominance, a dynasty in the making. For Argentina, defeat means the end. Messi's retirement, Scaloni's cycle closing, a rebuild without a superstar to build around. For France, watching Spain lift the trophy in the country that just eliminated them would be a national wound. Deschamps has already announced he is stepping down. Zidane is waiting in the wings. For England, another semi-final heartbreak. Another 6 decades of trauma extended. For Brazil, watching La Roja crowned in a stadium on American soil without a single Brazilian team in the top 4 would deepen an identity crisis that has haunted them since the 7-1 against Germany in 2014. And for the United States, the co-host of this World Cup, Spain winning at MetLife Stadium in front of 80,000 fans would cement America's place as the new global stage of the beautiful game, replacing Europe as the tournament's spiritual home for at least the next decade.
So, will Spain win? Nobody knows. Argentina has come back from the dead in every single knockout match. Messi has been messy. Lautaro Martinez keeps scoring the winners. Predictions are all narrow. Spain 2, Argentina 1 is the consensus. Could go either way. But if Spain does lift that trophy on Sunday, remember what you saw. You will have watched the end of one era and the birth of another. You will have watched a 19-year-old become the face of world football. You will have watched a tactical system reborn from the ashes of its own funeral. You will have watched a country that gave the world Xavi, Iniesta, Puyol, Casillas, and Ramos add a second star to the shirt and prove that Spanish football was never a one-off, but the deepest, most self-renewing football culture on the planet. And you will have watched the man who scored 21 World Cup goals across 6 tournaments finally walk off the field. Whatever the score, whatever the outcome, Sunday, July 19th, 2026 will be one of those days that people will remember for the rest of their lives. Because when the ball rolls in that final at 3 p.m. in New York, football itself will be listening.